My name's Micaela Connery, and I am the founder and executive director of Unified Feeder. We work with teens with and without disabilities to give all kids their moment in the spotlight. One is to first know what you need volunteers to do. So a lot of people say, I need volunteers, but how many hours do you need volunteers? What skills do you need them to have? Where do you need them to be? Do they need to have a car? Do they need to be a certain age? Once you know what kind of volunteers you need and what you need them to do, then you have to go out and start recruiting them. And it's important to know the kind of volunteers you're looking at and cater your recruitment accordingly. It's also important when you're recruiting a volunteer to tell a story. So to say, you're going to make a difference this way, or join us in the movement to change this. So that you're not just saying we need you to work 12 hours a week for 8 weeks doing boring things. So the biggest thing that you can do for volunteers is give them swag. I've found that if you give food and swag, you are totally set with your volunteers. So having an information session that involves pizza or candy or ice cream or something, and telling them if you come you get a free t-shirt, a free bag, free Sharpie markers, whatever it is. I am under the belief that however people get through the door doesn't really matter. So if they came through the door only because they were in it for the free food, that's fine, because the reason they'll stay and because the reason they'll actually continue to be a good volunteer is because they care about the work you're doing. And also in the incentives that you offer, so for your Unified Feeder, we found that kids getting community service hours is kind of a done deal now. It's almost an expectation to have community service hours. So offering like you're going to get so many hours doesn't always have the same weight as it may have had a few years ago, but offering certain opportunities for skill building, whether it's, we're going to teach you how to write a grant, we're going to teach you how to manage a group, we're going to help you do presentations and public speaking that you've never done before. We're going to build these skills for your resume, and then we're going to write you a recommendation on top of it. Giving those kind of incentives deepens sweetens the pot for your volunteers. I think a really important strategy for volunteer management is to help your volunteers understand the impact that they're making. For example, to put back to your student leaders to say, for 62% of your participants, this was the first time they participated in an inclusive activity. This is the first time they either worked with a student with a disability or worked with a student without. And that's a big deal, and you, student leader, made that happen. Thank you so much, that was awesome. We also try to thank our volunteers as often and as publicly as possible. And publicly doesn't necessarily mean at a big dinner or at a big public event. It could mean posting about them on your blog. We do Facebook shout-outs, Twitter shout-outs, we recognize kids in newsletters, on emails. Any opportunity you have to thank a volunteer and then thank them publicly will really make them feel more engaged and more connected to your organization.